Jumping straight in, welcome to day one of my Walt Disney World trip.
Okay, first day. This morning hasn't gone as smooth as we'd quite hoped, but we're moving.
So we're half 6. Oh, let's rope drop Magic Kingdom.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. Yeah, we decided to rope drop last minute. I don't know. I didn't want the pressure of, oh, we're definitely rope dropping, and then, like, be stuck. You love me really though, right? Yes. But yeah, we're just heading to the bus stop because it's a bus from here, and then we'll be on our way. We're not sure we're going to get on the Seven Dwarfs because it's quite late for rope dropping, if that makes sense. So it's 8 o'clock, pretty much. We're a bit delirious because that weird England to America time difference is always fun, but yeah, we're on our way, and hopefully we will see you at the park when we've done some things, but we'll see. I completely forgot to mention how hot it is. I haven't actually checked the actual temperature right now, but it feels pretty bloody hot for 8 o'clock.
I'm told it's 26 degrees.
26 degrees at 8 o'clock, so we're gonna melt, but we're gonna just keep going and see how as pale Brits cope. We're on the bus! We just missed one, so we're now on the next one.
But it literally arrived when we did.
Yeah.
So.
And before we knew it, we were on our way to the beautiful Magic Kingdom, and you can never describe that feeling of when you're walking in. It was warm, it was sunny, it wasn't too busy considering it was rope drop, and there aren't words, so enjoy walking into the Magic Kingdom with me.
Oh, it's the old one again.
See how much you can see? No, the good is Maria
I may have teared up, so we headed to Seven Dwarfs, but it didn't go to plan.
Okay, so our plan was to rope drop Seven Dwarfs. However, the queue is already wrapping halfway around the park, and we have Tron in an hour. So we would have just queued, wouldn't we?
Yeah.
But when we've got Tron, we don't want to risk being in the queue and it being longer than we think. So we're heading to Space Mountain.
So we were melting by this point, but we wanted to get on Space before it had technical difficulties, as it tends to. And luckily we did, because our Tron reservation got pushed forward.
You can probably hear, but we've just done Tron. It was really, really good. I'm not going to spoil any of it because there's people walking to go on it, and I don't want to spoil it for you either, because get on it, it's really, really good. We were really lucky, we got to sit at the front. We did miss the pre-show though because we were so early. We were like one of the first boarding groups, so that's a shame, but maybe we'll do it again on another day.
Then we headed to Gastons tavern. It has limited seating, so do be aware. However, it is worthwhile for the cinnamon roll, as you can see here. It was moist, it was brilliant. Go get yourself one. We then rode Peter Pan's Fly and headed to Cheshire Cafe, where I got a Cheshire Cat Tail. Also stunning, definitely get one.
So we've just been on Peter Pan's Fly, and I don't know if it broke down or the stay away from my food. the standby just got too, like the standby for the lightning lane got too long, and so they stopped us for a bit. But there were some people getting pretty grouchy, which didn't sit well with me, kind of giving the cast members hassle. I don't appreciate it. It's just rude and it's unkind, and I just thought I'd mention it before we carried on our day, because it ruined the mood for us a bit as well. Like, it's just don't do it.
So after that frustrating PSA, we headed to Storybook Circus, and I think this is the best place for shopping for little unique things. There's candy treats and lots of different ears and toys. Then we headed on to the Barnstormer before getting way too hot and needing to grab some drinks. We brought the Sully Slush at $5.99 and the Lunar Lemonade also at $5.99. I didn't enjoy the Sully Slushy as much as I thought I would. It was a bit more creamier. But the Lunar Lemonade was perfect for me. However, you need to have a sweet tooth to drink this. We also got our first bit of magic. A lovely cast member called Claudia in Cosmic Rays gave us a Stitch cake. And it was completely unprovoked. I don't know why, I couldn't tell you. It was just a little bit of magic. And it was really, really beautiful of her to do. And it made me tear up a little bit. I'm not going to lie. It really was magical. And according to Will, tasted very nice. And our luck for the day did not run out there because...
Just you at Big Brass Band, they made it a fantasy land, walking right down the middle of Main Street, USA, oh, USA.
Do not, and I stress do not, miss the Dapper Dans. They have a special place in my heart, and to stumble across them is always very magical. We then headed back to the hotel and got some drinks. We really were sweating buckets, I'm not gonna lie. It was so warm. I think it had gotten to about 34 degrees. We got a bite to eat at the food court. It was always empty enough to get seats and always pleasant there. We had a look at Maestro Mickey's, and the shop had a lot more in it than we expected. We thought because it was an All-Stars it'd be emptier than it was, but it was great. The arcade was always empty the entire time we were there, but it is there if you like that sort of thing, and there were plenty of different games for the kiddos to play. So then we had some of our Joffreys coffee, which was obviously lovely. It's not even a question of whether it was or not. And decided we were going to take a dip in the pool. So we did that, and then we got changed for Tony's. And we headed back to the Magic Kingdom now that it had cooled down ever so slightly. We had a booked dinner reservation at Tony's, and there was a little bit of a wait, but it wasn't too bad at all. So join us at Tony's. Tony's is located just to the right in the main square, where you can meet Mickey Mouse next door. It is an Italian themed restaurant which is themed around Lady and the Tramp, who we were very luckily sat next to. For starter, we had garlic bread with the best dipping Parmesan sauce. I want to recreate it. I want to live with it. I'd like it at home. It is the best sauce, and it is worth going just for that. Then for mains, I had the chicken Parmesan, and Will had the spaghetti meatballs. They were both lovely and not necessarily anything special, but they were nice, couldn't fault them. The servers were also lovely, and I would go again, hands down, if for nothing else than the sauce. Good morning. So I'm just going to close this because it's quite loud. Good morning. Last night was lovely, but unfortunately I got a migraine. So I suffer from chronic migraines. It means I can get them about 5 times a week. Anyway, really, I tend to get them between 2 and 5. Or sometimes, if I'm lucky, I go like a couple weeks without having one, but they tend to be fairly consistent of probably averages out to at least twice a week, a year or something. But yeah, unfortunately I got one of them last night, so we came back a bit early, but we went back to our dinner reservation and it was lovely. It was at Tony's. Sorry, my brain's very slow because I get like, they're like hangovers. I'll do a video on them one day maybe. But we went to Tony's and it's themed around Lady and the Tramp and it was beautiful. We were very lucky. We were sat next to Lady and the Tramp themselves. But it was really nice. And for starter, now that's the main thing, for starter, we had garlic bread with a Parmesan cheese dip. Wow, it was the best I've ever had. I just go for that. It was $11, best food ever for that. We absolutely smashed it. Unfortunately, I started feeling quite sick after that because of my migraine. So the main was lovely. It's my favourite food to eat in the UK. It's my favourite food to eat anywhere, but it was nice. I wouldn't say it was like anything to rave about. I'd probably give it about like a 7 out of 10. So it was still really nice, don't get me wrong. It was tasted very fresh, but the chicken just wasn't quite as nice as it could have been. And the pasta was lovely though. The pasta was really nice. The mac and cheese, migraine hangovers, no joke. The garlic bread was absolutely lovely. It was to die for. I would get more of that any day of the week, at any time. It was really, really, really gorgeous. But yeah, so we went there. We had a bit of a funny moment, which I will say on my YouTube, but then we headed back because I was quite ill and I went to bed. So I didn't film anything last night past the food because I wasn't very well. But better things today. I've taken my medication. I'm feeling a lot better. My brain is just ticking by very slowly, so my speech and things in my videos might be a bit strange, but here we are. Thanks for bearing with. So past Amy promised a funny story, so present Amy is going to divulge for you. When we went to Tony's, me and Will, how do I put this? It was our first ever experience in even a semi-fancy restaurant. So that might be part of it. Also, the fact we were in America and we are British, we're from Nottingham, not used to American culture. We love it, but we've not been tons of times. You know, we've only been a couple of times. So we went to Tony's, everything was fine, the meal was fine. I was also quite ill, so not on my best, like, you know, I was going to say best behaviour, but that's not it. I wasn't in my, like, best spirits. But we had an amazing cast member who was waitressing for us. I believe her name... Jamie! Ah! I'm not sure how I'm going to chop this video because I've just gone through about 6 different names to find the name of the waitress in my head. We were served by Jamie. Jamie was wonderful, very charismatic, very lovely. And food came really quick. It was great, absolutely great. And then we asked for the bill, got given the bill, and it works so weird. And I don't know if this is all fancy restaurants or what I'd deem a fancy restaurant, or if it's an American thing. I don't know, but me and Will have never been so confused in our lives. So you get the bill, you put your card in, they take your card away with the receipt, then they come back and then you write your tip on. Now, I've never done that before. I've either had to go up to a bar to pay for my meal, or if a server has brought my receipt and things over, they bring the card machine to the table. That's how I've always done it. I've always had to put my PIN in if it was over a certain amount. Like, I've never had somebody take my card away and then bring it back. And I was so confused because we wanted to give Jamie a good tip because she was brilliant. But I was like, how on earth am I adding a tip? And I didn't realise you just wrote it down. So I was sat there, me and Will were sat there, and we were kind of looking around, and I had a migraine, so I felt ill, and we were really confused. And eventually she came over and she was like, are you guys okay? And I was like, how do we pay? And she literally burst out laughing. She was so lovely, and she was just like, oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. I just kind of assumed you'd know. And she talked us through the process. But yeah, so do not worry, A, when they take your card away, they're not stealing your card. And B, you add the tip on after they bring your card back, you put your card away, and I assume they just add the tip on afterwards. But it was hilarious. I was mortified, but in a funny way, and Jamie was brilliant, so there you go. I don't know if it was me and Will just being dumb British people, or just dumb people in general. I don't know. Please let me know if this is an experience in all fancy restaurants. Yeah, we're not very... We don't push the boat out really when it comes to food, so we wouldn't know. But that is what happened. So thank you so much for watching the video and for sticking with me this long. Please do check out my travel day video and like and subscribe for the channel, please. I would really appreciate it. So join me in my next video for my second day at Disney.